It's all good, man. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. Hey, it's all good, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brian.
I'm Dave.
I'm Owen.
And this is Preview with the Prior,
The show where we speculate about the upcoming episode of Better Call Saul.
Often incorrectly.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right. Dave and I also host a Nothing Important podcast. You can find that at www.nothingimportantpodcast.com, where Dave and I talk to people more famous and successful than we will ever be. And we're kind of excited this episode. This is actually the second interview we've done this week for Preview with the Prior. A couple days ago, we talked to Eileen Fogarty, who plays Mrs. Nguyen on Better Call Saul. And now we have a special guest with us, TV actor, comedian, podcast host, tall dude, Owen Benjamin. Owen, how's it going this evening?
Going real good. I'm going to be in your neck of the woods last weekend of April. The Improv, Schaumburg.
Absolutely, absolutely. So make sure if you're in the Chicago area, last weekend of April, come out and see Owen. Super hilarious dude, plays the piano. Great guy. I couldn't make it last time, Owen. I apologize. And this time I'm going to be on vacation again. Otherwise, I'd be right there hanging out with you. But this weekend, we're actually going to be in LA for the taping of Talking Saul. So if you want to grab a couple drinks while I'm out in LA, I'd love to have a drink with you.
Oh, man, I'll be in Kansas City. I'm back Sunday, though. Are you going to be here Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be there Sunday through Tuesday.
Oh, great. Yeah, let's hang out. Hit me up.
Yeah, absolutely. I will definitely hit you up. And Owen, just for everybody listening, you host a podcast called Why Didn't They Laugh? Maybe you could just let everybody know what your podcast is all about and what you do, and then we'll talk a little bit of Saul.
Why Didn't They Laugh is I do so much stand-up that I started getting fascinated with when jokes didn't work almost more than when they did. And I started really diving into why a joke doesn't work and how to make it work and all the human nature knowledge that comes from failure.
Yeah, it's a great, it's incredibly fascinating, great podcast. And, that's awesome. That's because a lot of comedians out there do, their own podcast now. It's like, it's a very comedian heavy, like, hobby, I guess. And I like how you put a different twist on it, how you're actually kind of examining the failures as opposed to trying to build on material that you put on stage.
Yeah, because living in LA, I have a unique ability of seeing the greatest comedians in the world fail, because like Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Chris Rock, like all these dudes are trying out their new stuff at the store and the Improv. And then when you see them in the special, it's always polished. And I just think a lot of people don't realize the amount of work and science that goes into making a joke work. So I wanted to do a whole podcast based on it and how that struggle never ends. But there's no level where comedians aren't asking, why didn't they laugh?
Right. Well, it's a great show. I encourage everybody to tune in. You can subscribe on iTunes and at owenbenjamin.com, right?
Yeah, iTunes.
All right. I want to make sure that I wanted to pretend like I was good at this for a moment. Did you see that? I was like sounding natural for a moment. Then I second guessed myself. So anyway,
yeah, if you can't find the podcast, it's in the top 100. What's up?
That's awesome, man. Congratulations on all your success. That's great.
Thanks, guys.
So, Owen, so obviously Dave and I are big enough fans of Better Call Saul that we've been doing this podcast for over a year now, and we actually talked to you on the Nothing Important podcast. You were one of our first guests that we had over a year ago, and we're glad, and we found out that you like Better Call Saul as well, so we're happy to have you on. So I guess let me start by asking you, what do you think of the season thus far? We only have one episode to go now, but what do you think of the season thus far?
It's a great season. That one shot is one of the best shots in television I've ever seen when they're at the border and it starts high. It's like an establishing shot, and it follows
Yeah.
the trucks all the way into the checkpoint. It turns around and follows past dogs, and like that's so hard to do. And I'm sure a lot of people at home watch that and are like, "Oh, that's cool." If you're in entertainment, you're like, "How on earth did they do that?"
Gotta be a drone
Like,
shot.
I just have no idea how they did that.
I thought it was a drone shot. I should have said that on the podcast.
Yeah, there's so much going on in that shot. Yeah, Dave and I talked about that. That's just absolutely amazing. So, amazing season. Do you think this is better than season 1, or do you think it's just as good or worse than season 1?
I wouldn't mind a little more violence, but you know, I'm a 9-year-old. I like it though. I think it's paced really well. I think it's paced up. I like that it can have a whole episode without much happening, and still I feel satisfied.
Right.
So it's a good season.
Right.
I actually,
Right.
I was watching episode 1, like the very first episode earlier today, and my God, it seems slow. And my friends
Really?
I was watching it with were commenting on it, and when they got to the part where the kid jumps in front of the car, everybody in the room jumped, and I was like, "See, that slow crap pays off when something finally like it builds up." And it's like, yeah, it's like you're there, like you're in the moment with everybody.
It's so true. It's just like it's like sex. You don't start off with doggy style.
Right.
Like it's, and also you know what's coming. So, like when they take their time, it's kind of like Titanic. Like you can just mess around for a while because you know the boat's gonna sink.
Right.
So like every nuance of every scene, you feel this tragedy of it, and that's what I feel Saul can do, because most people have seen Breaking Bad and they kind of know where these lives go. So when you see these glimmers of humanity, not that Saul doesn't have it in Breaking Bad, but when it's extra tragic and extra melancholy when you see like the two roads in the woods, you know?
Right. And what chose him to take each path.
Exactly. There's a lot of the, this is how they get from point A to point B. There's a lot of like, oh, this is coming. But this show, I feel, has done a really good, because like Dave and I on It's All Good, man, for the whole first season, almost every episode, we were like, oh, well, this is when he's going to officially be like Saul. Like, this is officially, right, Dave? Like, we did that like every episode. And then it just kind of never happened. And we're like, whoa, they're playing like the long game. So I don't think we've done that too often this year. So, I mean, that's kind of the fun of it, is we know where it ends up. But it's all about trying to anticipate and like being a part of how he gets there. They've done extremely well, especially this season.
Yeah, it's kind of like, not that Saul ever becomes like the level of monster I'm comparing him to right now, but it would be as if Adolf Hitler as a World War I soldier. And it's like 20 years before, because I think that, like, I like the origin stories in a lot of the superhero stuff, like what made Wolverine, I love origin stories, and that's why I think Better Call Saul is a great show, because you get to see, because monsters are made, they're not born. So it's like when you see like all the steps that it's like a million choices that lead to what you become. And that's the beauty of writing. That's Joseph Campbell shit.
Well, very, very well said. So here we are on Preview with the Prior. And of course, we got to make predictions about the upcoming episode. Did you gentlemen happen to catch the Next Time on Better Call Saul previews?
Dave,
didn't. I know you're kind of flighty on this sometimes.
I saw the scene with the doctor.
Oh yes, where they're talking about Chuck's.
I just saw the preview after the episode. I haven't seen anything online.
That's
the preview with the doctor. Yeah, the preview with the doctor is well, you know, episode 209 ended with Chuck bouncing his head off the countertop and then off the floor, and they kind of ended with Jimmy doing the whole call 911. And I didn't see the preview for the next episode until earlier today, and I watched episode 209 almost a week ago. So the whole time I've been watching people theorize that Chuck is dead or like severely incapacitated. but that scene tells me that he's banged up, but he's not in any real physical immobility or anything like that.
No, the scene that I saw, they were discussing more of what caused him to faint and what they were going to do about it, because Chuck was refusing any medical treatment because he didn't want to be bombarded by electromagnetic waves. So Jimmy suggests a temporary emergency guardianship where he takes over and makes the decisions for him. And the doctor says, I know a judge we can call right now. And then it ends.
Yeah. Yeah. Owen, what are your thoughts? Where do you think they go from here? I guess just hearing what you just heard.
I think it was when the copy machine guy said, this won't end up with the cops, right? And he said, no. I think that kind of showed an Achilles heel that now that someone's injured, if cops interrogate him, he may give up Jimmy. And I think the domino could fall to his girl, and that's where the real tragedy is. Like, does she end up disbarred? Because you have this, like Jimmy's character, it's like the type of character where everything he touches turns to shit. So he has this girl that like loves him and like sticks up for him, and like somehow it's gonna get to her, and she's gonna be the one that pays the price. And I think that the Achilles heel is the copy machine guy, because he said no one got killed, right, and the cops won't be involved, right, and then he was okay with the lie. So if any of those two things don't happen, he's gonna rat on Jimmy.
I like it.
I'm curious to see. See, my thing was at the end of it is I was saying, well, because it seemed like Jimmy was kind of trying to make the decision whether to rush in and help Chuck, or he was just kind of putting the onus on other people to call 911. And I was kind of thinking like if he rushes in, the jig is up. And to me, his character is the kind of person that would kind of wait and try to smooth things over after it plays out. So I don't think he rushes in. I think what happens is somebody actually does call 911, and then it kind of close to what you're saying, it comes out later that he basically put all the wheels in motion for that, and it's just going to destroy everybody's life around him.
Yeah, because that decision was his brother or him getting in trouble. That's the conundrum he had in the shadows. It's like almost Shakespearean. It's like the deal with the devil. And so if he doesn't call, somehow that's going to come back. And if he does call, he has to pay, but he may end up okay. So I don't think he calls the cops, and I think that will end up like leading to more and more of this avalanche.
Right. Dave, you had a different view on that, didn't you?
I was kind of in. I couldn't make a decision, honestly. I thought he might rush in to intervene to make sure Chuck's okay. But after seeing the next scene where he's in the hospital, I'm thinking that maybe he didn't go in, and then he just got a call and then played dumb. Like, I'll be right there.
Really?
Yeah, he may call from like a payphone or something.
Pull a mic and grab that one last standing payphone and make a call.
Yeah, because he's a good guy. That's the balance they keep having to strike. Is he loves his brother? He's a good-hearted guy, but he has absolute apprehension for humanity.
Right.
So it's like that's the balance, and so he's going to somehow kind of save his brother and not. And the part that is not will keep, because I think the fact he changes his name to Saul means that he's disbarred and potentially facing criminal charges and has to really do some crazy stuff by the time this thing's up.
Yeah. So in the second preview, it's pretty simple. It was about a minute long, and it was on AMC.com. And it was just Mike testing out the sniper rifle that he took a look at earlier in the series. I don't remember exactly what episode, but he was with, what did we figure out that guy's name was, Dave? It was like Lawson or something like that?
Yeah,
the
Lawson.
Arms dealer? Yeah. It's him and Lawson out in the middle of the desert, and Mike's shooting a sniper rifle, obviously preparing for something. But it totally paints it as if it's going to be like, because in Breaking Bad, it was no half measures. In Better Call Saul, it's he won't kill anybody. And they seem to be implying that he's ready to take somebody out with a sniper rifle. But obviously Hector's in Breaking Bad, so he doesn't get shot in Better Call Saul. So I guess my question:
the driver, that when he found out the driver killed the innocent, when he asked what happened to this the civilian, the Good Samaritan, and they said the driver killed him or whatever, I think he's going to shoot that driver guy that he didn't shoot in the desert.
I thought
Because I think he felt.
I thought Hector shot
ahead.
him. I thought he said Hector shot him in the face, or put 2 bullets in him.
Yeah, I think Hector shot him because they thought the driver was in cahoots with Mike at first, or with whoever they thought whoever the assailant was.
No, remember when he left the driver? I don't know what the driver's name was, but the guy that he popped the tires, he left him in the desert. And when he said, "What happened? How did the cops not find out?" And he said, "A Good Samaritan stopped and helped him." And he said, "Then what happened?" And he said, he killed that guy." So I think that he felt responsible for the death of the Good Samaritan because he didn't shoot the driver.
Yeah, see, that's one thing where I'll absolutely agree with you on is, because you can see that in the scene where Nacho and Mike were meeting at the weird chicken factory. What'd you call that, Dave? The industrial thing? Is that what,
Yeah, the industrial thing. Yeah.
Yeah. In their meeting place, that seemed to really bother Mike is when it did come out that somehow, some way, the Good Samaritan did get shot, and that seemed to totally weigh on Mike. So you think it's possible that Mike's going to take that extra step and, try to right the wrong that he caused by getting an innocent person killed and maybe killing the driver then?
Yeah, I think Mike, this is when Mike starts shooting.
The way things have been going, I'm almost thinking it's going to be one of those things where maybe he lines up the shot and pulls back. This is or he's just going to take out some more tires or something. I don't know.
Or there's like some ridiculously convenient target that he can hit that causes damage but doesn't kill anybody.
Right. Or maybe,
I would, at that point, if they do that, I will be pissed off.
It's just a little too.
They can do that a little bit. They can do half measures, but eventually you gotta do. You can't just keep having a preview of a bear and then the bear just takes a nap.
right.
Mike's got a sniper rifle. He's got he took a beating just to not kill a gangster, and then they turned on him, tried to get him in jail, threatened his granddaughter, and then he saved him again, and then they killed the Good Samaritan. If he just is doing target practice after that preview, I'm going to be pretty pissed off. I'm going to have Better Call Saul blue balls.
Well,
giving me blue balls.
Maybe I can tie in my earlier prediction, which is going to be false. When somebody actually tweeted, reminded me to talk about Fran, the waitress at the coffee shop.
Yeah, the waitress from the diner.
So when I first saw a picture of Mike with the sniper rifle, and I thought maybe this is Fran related. They abduct Fran, and he's got to get her back. And then I realized she's in Breaking Bad, so I want to cancel all my Fran predictions.
Nice.
See, that's the thing about it is had it been any other series, you can make all these wild accusations, but every time you you take a jump to the next logical conclusion, you can't do it because you know how everything ends up.
Right.
So logically in a normal show, you would be oh, he's obviously going to kill asshole A. But then you're wait a minute, 6 years later, asshole A is still alive and kicking in the series that came before it, but was set after it.
So weird.
So I think that's what
it's a Sudoku puzzle.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's very much like Minesweeper on Windows 95.
What do you guys think of the Gus Fring thing about the anagram?
Man, yeah, everybody's talking about that. I'd like to think so. But then that kind of goes back to my thing is they've had so many cameos this year. When the season started, I was oh man, it'd be cool if they had 1 or 2 cameos. But now there's been 5 returning characters from from Breaking Bad, and I was that might be what I think would be cool is if they brought him back without bringing him back and saved it for a 3rd season. So the anagram thing definitely points to him, and they make it very apparent that he is now part of this. But I think it'd be cool if he wasn't seen, and then next season it's his big entrance, and the season's all about him.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Because they're probably only going to do 4 or 5 seasons because it's not like The Big Bang Theory. You know, I don't think that that those writers want to just have a show that goes forever. I think they have a specific beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just like indefinite. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would make
I'd
sense
agree with
that
that.
he appears after they spell it out. And I just typed it into an anagram maker and nothing else comes up.
Besides,
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was
gotta
really
get an
praying something
anagram
else
maker.
would come up so I could just.
Yeah.
What's that? What was
you said
that?
I got to get an anagram maker. Where does what are you?
I got to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Dave isn't using the internet. I'd like to think that it's like an actual, like somehow manual, like
it's an
analog
abacus.
anagram maker.
It's an abacus that makes.
But I guess that would be called Scrabble. Like a manual anagram maker is called Scrabble. So
my analog
I guess
anagram
that would-
maker.
Oh, and feel free to use that on Why Didn't They Laugh? Feel free to use that joke. You can examine
'Cause
why
it
that
failed
was-
so
No,
bad.
they got a big laugh. They got a big laugh. You got 2 people out of 2 laughing.
All right, man, batting 1,000. Well, Owen, we got to start winding this up, my man. I don't want to keep you too long, but absolutely awesome having you, and glad talking to you again. You're always invited on our
Another
shows.
theory you guys are talking though, like that, who Ernesto becomes, or Hector. What was your theory?
Okay, I got
Yeah,
this.
Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
so-
touch on that.
It was actually the actor that plays Ernesto was the one that brought it to our attention because he just kind of said, "Doesn't he look an awful lot like Gus?" And he goes, "What's Ernesto's last name?" And we're like, "Holy crap, you don't know what Ernesto's last name is." So I think the theory is that he's related to possibly Gus's son.
How awesome would that be?
Well, Fring's back. I mean, it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
That'd be
that'd
sick.
Yeah, that'd be insane. That'd be great though, because his name is Brandon K. Hampton, and he was with us like I think last week or a couple weeks ago, chatted with us. But that guy is a solid dude, and if they went that route, he would more than deserve that type of role. He would more than deserve that kind of spotlight.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, he's
Well, cool guys.
awesome guy.
Nice.
Yeah. See, look at that. Good chat. Good talking out there. Slaps on the ass all around. All right. So Owen, maybe I'll see you this Sunday, but before you go, please plug your podcast, plug your website, plug everything, because I want as many people out there to support you as possible.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, last weekend of April, Schaumburg, right outside of Chicago. I'm doing the Improv Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Why Didn't They Laugh on iTunes? My podcast. That's about it. Twitter, Owen Benjamin. Hit me up. Life's good.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, Owen Benjamin, Dave, you can stop recording now.
It's all good, man. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. Hey, it's all good, man.
Dave, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes. Oh, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant me. I'm sorry.
Eileen Fogarty, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Welcome to It's All Good Man podcast. This is our preview with the prior show. Thanks so much for calling in. We totally appreciate it.
Oh, my gosh, I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're excited to have you. And for those of you listening, we actually had this scheduled like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then I think I totally dropped the ball, and I don't really fully understand how modern things like Google calendars work, and I didn't send you any contact information. So me and Dave are just sitting here and we're like, oh, well, maybe she had better things to do. Like, and that's not in a condescending way. It's just like, we can't imagine that there isn't much out there that isn't a better thing to do than chat with us. So
Oh, no, I was trapped. Like, I was sitting on my couch and waiting and thinking, oh, wait, was I supposed to email them? Because I'm pretty sure they have to call me, and then I have to call a line. And then I got the email that said, oh, I think you missed the call. And I went, oh, shuck. That was my bad.
You're not the first. You won't be the last.
Okay.
Yep.
But I definitely was looking forward to it. So, and I'm happy this is happening.
Oh, good. Well, we were looking forward to having you on. You play Mrs. Nguyen. Is that how it's pronounced? Nguyen?
Nguyen. But in Vietnamese, it's like Nguyen. But I think in America, they pronounce it as like Nguyen.
Gotcha. Okay. I was so excited. I think I brought this up in the episode proper. I was so excited when the character of Jimmy actually said your name, because then it finally clicked that the NGY, however that's spelled, like that's how that's pronounced, because I've